You are listening to the NPZ Law Firm Show. Immigration woes, visa serve no's. US and Canadian immigration and nationality lawyers who speak your language.
Welcome back. I'm Vijaya, understanding immigration law and what it means for you and for me with the lawyers from the NPZ Law Group. And of course, David Nockman joins us again, the founder and managing partner at NPZ. And David, you mentioned that there was a meeting with the USCIS, and what was the outcome on the backlog?
Yeah, so actually, we as immigration lawyers receive releases because it's our responsibility to stay on top of these issues for our clients, of course. And so we're actually very happy to be able to share this with the listening audience today. There was a listening session where the public was allowed to dial in. And we, of course, dialed in and listened closely to what the director of the USCIS, the U.S. Citizenship and Immigration Service, what they were doing to clear out backlogs and to move things faster. And, that's of great concern to our clients because our clients are constantly saying everything is urgent, everything needs to be done yesterday. And the problem is that these are hurdles that we have to jump over. And sometimes our clients get very frustrated when we don't know some of the ways in which the government is taking steps to move things along. So there was some clarity that was given by the directors, at a very high. The speak was from a very high level.
Yeah.
So one of the things which was kind of interesting is that they were hiring more staff, and they made it very clear that they are hiring a lot of people, because what's really interesting is at the end of the Trump administration, and they said that probably the public didn't even know this, that their staffing was only down to 1/3 of what it was. So that's why nothing was getting done.
Mm-hmm.
So now they are trying to beef up their staffing. So that's really important.
Yeah.
They also talked about increasing premium processing, which we've talked about, I think, on other shows. But they are talking about increasing premium processing to things like the national interest waiver and the I-765 employment authorization document applications. And they talked about a phased-in methodology that's being used as a protocol to bring about, faster benefits.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really good. They also talked about interview waivers, that they're granting interview waivers when it's appropriate. And actually, our office has seen a couple of interview waivers being granted for cases that were for marriage cases, immediate relative marriage cases. So that was really quite surprising that we were getting those approvals without any interview whatsoever. We also have biometric waivers to move things along. And they also talked about IT, information technologies, and how they were using information technologies to move cases along quicker. And so one of the things they were doing is allowing for online filings where previously they didn't do that. So online filings are kind of interesting because before they would take paper filings, we would send them in, they go into the mailroom, they would get scanned in and then sent out to the officers. So now these filings go electronically and then get sent out to the officers. So it skips that step to move it along faster. Also, and you may be aware of this, Vijay, is that, there's legislation that's been proposed to increase the speed at which cases would be processed by eliminating priority date backlogs. So we haven't seen anything, really take shape yet on that because it is a bit of a political football, but we remain cautiously optimistic that we might be able to see something like that coming in the near future.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think that, going back to what we were talking about at the beginning of the show is prosecutorial discretion.
Yeah.
Prosecutorial discretion is really an incredible thing because what it does is it sort of moves cases along faster and clears up backlogs, before the courts, and also gives us the opportunity to possibly move troubled cases along by asking the government to exercise prosecutorial discretion.
Mm-hmm.
So all of these things are being seriously undertaken by the government to try to move cases along. So I think that, getting this clarity finally from the government, as opposed to everything being sort of nebulous and new smoke and mirrors, has been tremendously helpful to us as immigration attorneys because, again, what is our job? Our job is to give clarity for our clients and predictability. So these are all factors that we can share with our clients to help them understand why the backlogs exist.
Very well put. And so many people in the dark, like you said, about what's happening with their application. So thank you for, providing the light on that and providing counsel to companies, individuals worldwide on complex US and Canadian immigration and nationality law issues. That's NPZ Law Group for you. Just a phone call away. Call them and mention Mirchi for that special discount at 201-670-0006 or log on to